44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and they head with that shit.
Fine then, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I fed, he nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, up to solid, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. No, they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real. I got real soldiers, kill folk, and nigga, watch yourself. They say you been in beast mode lately, you is not yourself. When you dropping that fire, precious marriage, they inquiring. They can't stop what's coming, but I see them conspiring. Cross the line, them firing. This bitch here, finna break the spin. No kindness, I don't trust you, so small. You can keep your features. Me and my niggas don't keep no secrets. And it feel like Jeepers Creepers. Say they want some smoke, dog. Try to blow these chimney sweeps. Coming like we coming, you can't even cap. These niggas don't run it like we running, bitch. Don't even start. Bitch, I'm with my niggas till the end, till them do us part. If you wanna leave, you can leave, bitch. Bless your heart, fine then. I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a man, circle tight, yeah, back and seal. I heard they want my life, I ain't worried, I got Ray for real. Take over in effect, yeah, I'm fully focused. You might not see it on me, just know it's women, that bitch fully loaded. Ooh, yeah, we up and rolling. Told them I need major motion. Think I'm joking, I'ma school them niggas like they baby Jody. Got it out the dust, now I'm too clean, don't know why they hate me. What you want out life, dog? Guns and butter, baby boy. You PK top, dog. Certified road runner. I'ma turn that Econ line into a damn tank. I got choppers stashed in the attic like they Air Frank. They had that shit on lock till I snapped on them like bolt cutters. You cannot play both sides, gotta choose your colors. See, I'm throwing that one up with that W, that's my blood, bro. Fine then. I ain't show no mercy, I'm gonna show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the dust, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice, but he don't show the skills, how I show the skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a man, circle tight, yeah, back and seal. Said they want my life, I ain't worried, I got Ray for real.
Pando killed the beat.
I don't know who, somebody need to hear this. Y'all don't speak Hebrew, that's Yiddish. How the fuck you try to label us anti-Semitic? We the Israelites, blacks, native Hispanics. The Germans get locked up for the Holocaust. Meanwhile, black people still up in the Holocaust. 100 million of us died in the transatlantic. 6 million died. Y'all want the world to never forget it. You can never be a Jew, you a Ashkenaz. This ain't a star dum-dum, a gun that would die. Yeah, Yeezy told the truth and got ostracized. Not one person in the Bible had on a yarmulke. We were slaves in America like we was in Egypt. Y'all don't even fit the curses in the Torah neither. Y'all was blind to the truth, I had to make it clear. How Jerusalem, your land, your people came from Europe. That was 1947, your menorah got 9 sticks, it's really only 7. Yeah, it's us against the world, Armageddon. This what happened when you inherit lies from your ancestors. Y'all the synagogue of Satan with them black hats. Your whole nation sitting ducks, Aflacs. Bunch of thieves and culture vultures, ain't nothing kosher. To tell the truth, you vagabonds don't have a culture. Macedonia, Alexander and Philip, you a convert, so tell me, how the fuck is you Israel? That don't make you the people just cause you live there. Why my people can't hate your people like y'all hate Hitler? All the prophets was black and was called nigga. Y'all don't even fit the description that's in the scriptures. Abraham, all the way down to Jacob, we the real Jews. Y'all don't study Christ, y'all follow the Talmud. Keep it real, yeah, let's keep it real. Cold hard truth, it give you chills. Say y'all Jewish cause y'all ain't really them. About to do them like Hammond, it's the Feast of Purim. UBK undefeated, this an easy win. We was born fighting, y'all the evil twin. Jacob took hold of his heel, then out came his little red bass and they kosher deals. It's only 12 tribes, y'all trying to make it 13. Esau despised his birthright, the Lord cursed him. He ain't the devil, who is? I'm still searching. Ask your rabbi, why he give them babies herpes? I don't know what's worse, that or you claiming that you a Maccabee. I'm about to cancel, everybody try to cancel ye. I ain't afraid to speak, that's what I do. They riding to the core, I'm just judging them by their fruit. Cause they ain't suffering curses. If I was carnal, I promise I'd punch you in person. I know that's an uncomfortable subject. They making millions off our culture and black people suffering from it. Yeah, they don't believe in Christ. They the Antichrist. Make a living off of niggas. They're a parasite. I ain't afraid to tell the truth. Niggas terrified. I'm about to go DEFCON 4. I ain't satisfied.
That is proof. That is absolute proof that they know we are the real Jews. That's absolute proof. Now you got the records. Go find me a white Jew on any archaeology in Egypt anywhere. You will never find a piece of archaeology with white people as slaves in Egypt. So don't tell me that they were slaves and it's their identity, and they know it. And I know the blasphemy of them, but they are too. The Lord knows the blasphemy of you so-called white people that say you are Jews and you are not Jews. You are not the people of the law. You are not God's chosen people. God's chosen people are living in the ghettos of America. God's chosen people are in poverty and depression in the streets of America. God's chosen people are walking around in America with no identity. That's where God's chosen people are.
Let's get it. I like to say shalom. Yahweh by shalom. Yahweh shalom. Yahweh by Shem Barakatah to all the brothers. And Yahweh Shemar Alatham by Shem Yahweh to all the sisters. A Christian officer of 500 Uriah Board. This is Tuesday night brotherhood class. Young man, I work a lot. Shalom. Yahweh by Shem Barakatah. Barak for tuning in. We got Princess Azara. Shalom. Yahweh Shemar Taba Shem Yahweh Shah. Barak for tuning in. All right, so lucky. Give me 1 second. Go on live on TikTok. All right, and just to give y'all a breakdown here in the IHPK, the water, I don't want to corrupt, man. The water for tuning in, sir. Y'all about to Shabakatah, sir. The water. Just to give a breakdown about what we're about here in IHPK, we are here to wake up and open the eyes of our people, the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Natives, and let them know that they are the chosen people, the holy people, the separate people that the Lord picked. And they are a special people unto him. And if you are not Black, Hispanic, and Native, you are the devil that the Bible speaks of. All right? These laws in the Bible are not for you. I am not sorry. All right, sorry, but not sorry. And you can go get it in, all right? So today's topic is separate. We need to separate. And that's just period. With all that's going on in the world, with your Puff Diddy, you know what I mean? And we don't call him Puff Daddy. We apologize if you say Puff Daddy. You call him Sean. That's what we call him, Sean. All right, here in IHPK. But I know you got these other fake Israelite groups who use the D word when they refer to him. We call him Sean, all right? Due to all the wickedness that's being exposed in the world today, especially within our community, this class and this title came to me, and it just makes the most sense that we need to separate. This is not saying that we need to separate from each other, but as a people, we need to separate from the system. We need to separate from what we know to be America. We need to separate from the laws and the statutes of America. We need to separate from these other races. If you are not Black, Hispanic, and Native, you are the people that we are encouraging our people to separate from. Why? Because your laws and your agenda has destroyed us for over 400 years, and it's only going to keep destroying us if we follow you, okay? Shalom, Yahweh, Shem Yahshua, Barakatah. Young man Mike tuning in from San Jose, Most High Christ, the heart of warrior. All right. Azra, could you do me a favor? Is it going down? Could you come down? The water. Salaki, Israel. All right. So our first scripture we're going to bring out is Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. Okay. So we're going to start off in the Old Testament. We're going to go to Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. And before we start, what are some things, and you can type in the chat, what are some things that goes on in this world today? What are just all type of things? What are some things that goes on in America that we know to be wicked? All right, you want to take a shot at it? What are some things?
Some things as far as like
that we know that America do that we shouldn't do.
greed, like winning money and people willing to do whatever to get the money,
Right.
even if it's like depriving themselves of what they believe in to get it.
Right, like what? Like be more specific. You can say it. Like man sleeping with man.
Yeah.
Women sleeping with women.
Yeah.
Sisters prostituting themselves out here.
People giving us their dignity and soul to someone for popularity and money.
Yeah, exactly. What else? Celebrating holidays. That's a big thing we do that we shouldn't do. Celebrating your birthday. That's another thing we shouldn't do that we tend to do. All right. So let's just get into it real quick. All right. So we're gonna start in the book of Deuteronomy. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6, and it reads, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God." What does the word holy mean? That means separate. So we are a separate people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God have chosen thee to be a special people. See there? We're a special people. He didn't say everybody in the whole earth was special. He said he has chosen thee, which is Israel, because they are a special people. And they can't deny that. Even today, when you cut the TV on, any sports you watch, any music, entertainment, anything, you see blacks, Hispanics, and natives leading the way. Even at conventions, they say that a lot of the oppressor has created a lot here on this earth. Well, I say the oppressor has stolen a lot here on this earth and claimed it for himself, like he did the religion of the real Jews. The Jews of the Bibles were black. Well, now you have the Jews in this world are white. You know, and they're Caucasians. All right. And the inventions that they stole were inventions made by slaves. So back in the day, the slaves would create these things, and then the master would get credit for them. All right. And it's the same thing that goes on today in America. We do things and create things, and what? The master takes credit for it. All right. And there's nothing new under the sun. So the Lord said we are to be a special people unto him, unto himself, above all the people that are upon the face of the earth. We are a special people, and we are above all people on the face of the earth. What does that mean? That means we sit high. Our laws in this Bible are better than any other way of life any other people would live. In fact, in the Bible, it shows you that we're supposed to live our life directly by this Bible and have people in awe. Look at these people. Look at the way they look. They're so clean. They're, you know what I mean? They follow these laws and these dietary laws. We need to be like them. So instead of us acknowledging the great road that the Lord put us in and embracing it and doing what he said do, we decided not to do it. So now we become more like the heathens. We become more like the so-called Africans. You know what I mean? We become more like the so-called Europeans. That's why you have Sean Combs doing the things he did. You know what I mean? Why? Because he seen and learned that from the oppressor, and he implemented it on his people. Let me tell you something, America. When you are harming your people, the world has no problem with it. I'll say it again. If you're Black, Hispanic, and Native, and you're harming your people, the world has no problem with it. Now, when you begin to speak up and challenge the structure, the power in this world, that's when the problem is created. And that's when you got to go. Anybody you name in history that has ever risen up against the power of America, they had to go. Michael Jackson rose up against the so-called Jewish man, called him out, called him the devil. Called him the devil. And what happened? He was unalive. Prince spoke out about the way he was being treated, or the artists who were being treated compared to the ones who owned the record labels. What happened to Prince? He was taken out. Whitney Houston asked about our masters. What happened to Whitney Houston? Whitney Houston was found in a bathtub, beat the hell up. And they said she drowned. You know what I mean? What happened to Bobby Christina? Said she drowned too. They knew she was going to do what her mama was doing. What happened to R. Kelly? R. Kelly was actually trying to purchase his masters. He was trying to get all his masters. It came out. Not saying that these things weren't true. They are true. But what I'm saying is that as long as you are staying in your place, and as long as you are underneath the oppressor, you get away with certain things. All right. So the same thing with Puff Daddy. Sean Combs. Sean Combs had a liquor contract. Ciroc. He started to promote Ciroc. Once he fulfilled that contract, he began to inquire about having his own liquor. And they told him basically, no, you can't do that. Or I think they did give him some type of liquor, but he did some research and found out that his liquor wasn't being made with what's that, agave? What's it called? Agave, you know, the plant, the tequila plant, whatever. He found out his liquor wasn't being made with that. So when he started to inquire about that and try and say, all right, well, y'all cheat me, I'm gonna sue y'all. That's when all his dirt came out. Go ahead.
Yeah, what you're saying is so heavy. To be honest, all of a sudden, when he started challenging them, Tupac's murderer comes forth, or they finally find Tupac's murderer, which connects them directly to
Sean Combs.
Right. Which suddenly, oh, we're investigating Tupac, we got to investigate Sean Combs. Now all of a sudden they investigate him. They're like, oh my goodness, look what we discovered. Oh, he's been doing all this stuff. These sexual and hideous, horrible things. So this is what we discovered in the process of trying to investigate him about Tupac's murder. When in reality, that was their way of trying to take it down. It was a whole process. They started with Tupac murder, linked him to that, and then that gave them permission to dig further into his information. So the information they already know, they can finally display it and be like, boom, here you go.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not just that, because he was probably going to get taken down anyway, eventually. But what he did was speeded the process up. When you challenge the oppressor, you speed that process up. That's why it's important for us to be righteous, a righteous people. You shouldn't want to envy our oppressor. Don't envy your oppressor. Meaning, you know, don't want to be like them. Don't take on their ways. All right. With that, let's drop that. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 20, verse 26. Leviticus is also in the Old Testament. So we're going to stay in the Old Testament for a little bit, all right? Let's go to Leviticus chapter 20, verse 26. Now, this is what the Lord has never, ever been, there has never been equality in the Bible. Anywhere you look in the Bible, there is no equality. So the Lord was not one to say, I want the whole earth to be equal. I want everybody to be treated the same. That's not the Lord of the Bible. If you can show me a verse where he's saying that, he's only talking about Israel. He's not mentioning any other nation. Any other nation. All right? So let's go to Leviticus chapter 20, verse 26. Go ahead.
Just a really good question. What you said is so heavy. It just actually brought, I just actually remember when you said that when my grandmother was inside the Christian church, they used to always play that song, He Got the Whole World in His Hands.
Mm-hmm.
And the Christians run with that and say, look, he does have the whole world in his hand. That's all of it.
Yeah, he got the whole world in his hand. For sure that. But the whole world is not equal. Everybody in the world is not equal. See, the world is not the earth. So like the earth is not wicked. It's the people that's in it that makes the earth wicked. And when that song, he got the whole world in his hands, that's talking about the world of Israel. See, in the Bible, when you see the word world, it's pertaining to a certain group or how can I say it? It's pertaining to a certain people. So when in John 3:16, when he says, for God loved the world, he's talking about Israel, the world of Israel, because the Bible wasn't focused on any other thing outside of that. If that message in there was to say the whole earth, it would just have said it. It would have said God loved the whole earth. You know what I mean? But it doesn't say that. Earth is in the Bible, right? But he's talking about the world. He's talking about the world of Israel. Just like if you go to SeaWorld, only thing you're going to see at SeaWorld is everything that's in the sea. If you go to Disney World, the only thing you're going to see at Disney World is everything pertaining to Disney. You won't see anything Pixar at Disney World. You know what I mean? So people have to understand that. But because people don't understand the Bible and they're being led and taught by wicked men, they get a understanding that it's not true. All right. The Lord has never made anything equal in His world. You know what I mean? And we're gonna get into it. We're gonna go to Leviticus chapter 20, verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me, meaning what? You should be separate unto the Lord. For I, the Lord, am holy. This is in the Bible. The Lord said He is holy. What does that mean? He's separate. So He's not the Lord of everybody. He's not the Lord of the oppressor. He's not the Lord of Christianity. You know what I'm saying? When you serve the Lord in this Bible, you got to understand, being a Christian is not serving the Lord in this Bible. Being a Christian is serving exactly what it is. You serving Caesar Borgia. You know what I mean? You got Christianity is the religion of alternative lifestyles. I mean, let's just call it for what it is. If you're a Catholic, you're serving Mary. Mary is who you serve. You know what I mean? It's important to understand that. So the Lord said He Himself is holy, which means separate, and have severed you from other people. What does that mean? I have severed you. Am I saying it right? Yeah, severed. So basically the Lord said I have cut you off from other people. Am I saying it right? Savored? No, that's not right. No, it's not savored. Severed, meaning I cut. You know what I mean? If you get something, you take a knife and you severed that arm off. You know what I mean? If you separate the whole arm from the body. So the Lord said, I'm gonna cut you off from every other people, that ye shall be mine, only His. Now, if you His and He cut you off from other people, what does that mean? We shouldn't be Christians. We shouldn't be Muslims. We shouldn't celebrate Christmas, birthdays. We shouldn't eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. We should observe the Lord high holy days and His feast days, which, matter of fact, we got the Day of Atonement coming up this Friday, where we afflict ourselves for 24 hours from sundown to sun up. So it starts Friday at sundown and it ends Saturday at sun up. I mean, from sundown to sundown, So it starts Friday from sundown and it ends Saturday sundown. All right. This is very important. Okay. We heard a lot about you, Kiss Kid Nova. All right. Kiss Kid Nova said, "Where's OG? He okay?" Oh yeah, everyone's in the truth. Okay, Kiss Kid Nova. You're dealing with a prophet here, so anything you got to say, put it in there. We're gonna ask you. You're a Christian when you follow Jesus. You're right, Kiss Kid Nova. You are a Christian when you follow Jesus, or when you worship Jesus. Following Jesus does not make you a Christian. Worshiping Jesus makes you a Christian. Because Christ said, don't worship him. He didn't say don't follow him. See, kids kidding over, you have to understand this. You won't learn anything by yourself, man. You got to get into this Bible. You got to understand it through the truth, through the ISUPK Canada Commander General Yohana, kids kidding over. So I follow Christ. Why? Following just means I repeat what Christ did. I do the same things Christ did. I don't love Caucasian women. Christ told a woman of a different race, what good is it for me to give the meat of the children to a dog? She asked for his blessing. He called her a bee, basically. He said, what good is it for me to give you anything that I do for the children of Israel? That's how I feel. You know what I mean? So following Christ does not make you a Christian. Worshiping Christ makes you a Christian. In the Bible, it also says, Christ said, I don't want you to worship him. He says it. I'm paraphrasing it, but that's what the Christ, he don't want you to worship. He said, in one verse, he said, why callest me good? There is no one good but the Father. That lets you know right there, Christ didn't want people to worship him. But you have Christians who do. And actually, you're a Christian when you want to live your life, when you want to feel good, when you want to hear something that makes you feel good and justify you sinning, then you go join Christianity. So if you want to sleep with other men and you're a man, and you want to feel like you have a connection and a spiritual connection with God, and he loves that and he accepts that, you go be Christian. If you want to harm Puff Daddy, P Nasty, I'm going to call him P Nasty. What was he? I'm sure he was a Christian. And he had 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Yeah, I mean, he's all that. And then guess who was at his parties? A Christian pastor. So that's what I'm saying. So Christianity is just a place people go to feel good, to make a place they go to feel good and soothe their sin. So they go there, sin, feel good, sin, leave, sin, come back, sin. Right?
Wasn't Christianity for most people created anyway from slavery?
Yeah, Christianity, no, it wasn't created from slavery. So the Romans, after they tried to kill off all the real Israelites, all the Jews, the real Jews, the black ones, then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. They had to change their heart. Oh, I know what happened. So once they conquered Israel, then they switched it around and started saying that what they're doing is for Christ, right? And that's when they started to change the pictures and the faces and the judges of the Bible. So now you have that. That's why when they painted the picture of, of Christ and painting him to be a white man, right? That's when they did that. They also changed all the pictures of all the disciples to be white men. If you, if your grandma ever had that picture at the table when they all at the table, every single one of them was white. They were all white men. All right, so they changed the faces of the judges. All right, where we at with it? So the Lord wants us to be separate. So he cut us off from these other nations. So he severed us from these other nations to be separate. If I severed this finger off with this sword right now, this finger is going to be separate from my hand. I'm going to be the man known to have 9 fingers. All right. So the Lord wanted us to separate from these other nations. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 8. I ain't going to hold you. Kids, Nova, when you got any more questions, throw them in the chat. I'll answer them for you. All right. But make sure you're in order, because we will not answer those questions. All right. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, in verse 8. And it reads, pull this a little closer. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the son of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. So again, the Lord separated the nations, and he gave the land to the children of Israel, according by their number. Right, verse 9. For the Lord portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. So the land was given and separated for Israelites. And if another comparison you can look at is you had the natives here first, right? And then on the whole opposite other side, you had the Israelites. And then down south, you have, you know, the so-called Latinos. You know what I mean? So this nation was divided up. Israel was divided up. But if you want to know the truth, the customs never changed. The natives here wasn't eating unlawful. The natives here wasn't doing unlawful things. And actually, the natives didn't even sleep with other nations. All that, the cowboy movie that you watch and you see the Indian man wanting to be with a Caucasian woman, that wasn't true. The Indians didn't want to be with no Caucasian woman. But the Indians did help the so-called slaves. They did do that. All right, let's drop this. Let's go to Genesis chapter 10, verse 5. Genesis is also in the Old Testament. Let's see what the Lord say in Genesis chapter 10, verse 5. Because this Bible, the Lord has always promoted separation. Always. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 10, verse 5. By these were the ills of the Gentiles, divided in their lands, everyone after his tongue, after their families, in their nations. The Lord always wanted to have separation. America is the only place that wanted to bring all these tongues together to create one nation that they claim to be under God, when in reality it's not under God. At least not the God of this Bible. The God of this Bible is against America. All right? The America goes against everything the Most High stands for. Everything. I can't think of one thing that America promotes and does that the Most High is in agreement with. And anybody out there who says I'm not right, tell me one thing America do that the Most High is in agreement with. I'll wait for a few minutes. But I know you can't tell me, so we're going to continue on, all right? So let's go to Genesis chapter 25, verse 23. This is the book of Genesis, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. So this is, in this context, the Lord has blessed Abraham to have, I'm saying it wrong. So this is Isaac and Rebekah. And Rebekah she's pregnant here, and she has 2 children in her womb. So she has twins. But the Lord told her it's going to be 2 separate nations. All right? Now let's continue on. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the youngest. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. Verse 25. And the first came out red all over, like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. If you go to Europe and you find a Caucasian, even out here in America, if you find a Caucasian and tell him he can't use a razor for 15 years, he's gonna be looking like Cousin Eddie. He's gonna be hairy all over, and he gonna be red for sure. That's the forefathers of the Caucasian man, Esau. Yeah, like a caveman, exactly. And that's what be tripping me out, because we call him, you'll refer to a Caucasian as a white man, but he's not white. He's a red man. That's what he is. And the Bible called him that. He's a red man, right? But because they want to make themselves seem right or holy or more holier than any other people, they want to be known as white. And then if you look up the definition of white in the Bible, it's pure, it's beautiful, it's this, it's that. And then you look up black in the Bible, it's ugly, it's bad, it's negative, everything. But according to the Lord, black is good, black is beautiful. It's throughout the Bible. In Songs of Solomon, he said, I am black but comely. I'm black but beautiful. You know what I'm saying? The Lord agrees with that. You know what I'm saying? This ain't my words. This is what the Lord says. All right? He agreed with that. All right? So the dark is beautiful. To be dark is awesome. You know what I'm saying? So let's chew on. So look here. Go up to 26. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel. So Jacob came out holding on to the heel. So they was fighting the whole time in the womb. Esau come out first, and Jacob holding on to the heel. You know what I'm saying? Salaki. And his name was called Jacob, and Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. So Jacob came out holding on to Esau's heel. So they was fighting in the womb. They was basically bringing the fight out. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, bro, you got to be twisted. Get back over here. You know what I'm saying? He holding on to the heel. The oppressor has always been wicked in the sight of the Lord. The Lord has always separated us too. And then a lot of people say, well, look, ain't they brothers though? Regardless of what, they're brothers though. The Lord said they were twins, but the Lord never said there will be two separate nations, two separate people, right? And then if that's the case, if Caucasians really feel that they are related to blacks, why do they treat them so bad? If we're so, because I mean, let's keep it real. It's not the so-called Negroes who's out here enslaving Caucasians, going to destroy them. It's not the dark people who's doing that. The devil that the Bible speaks of goes around the earth to destroy everything in it. They took our land and set their people over there, and look at the Middle East. It's crazy right now. It's going bonkers because everybody around that surrounds Israel knows that the people in Israel are not the true descendants of the Bible. They're not the real Jews. They know that. Go ahead.
Yeah, what you're saying is so heavy. And when you think about it, the Caucasian man doesn't want to be referred to as a red man, because if you look at any cartoon character of the devil or any drawing of the devil, it's always red. It's always gory, like red. You know, when you see something horrific, it's always blood is red. Everything red is not good. So they don't want to be in that category, even though the Bible calls them red men. Exactly. So what they do is they'll try to give you the truth, but they'll try to hide it. So like the movie we was watching, what's it called? Blink Twice. That whole movie basically gave you an idea of what a Diddy party is like. You know what I mean? Like, you go to that Diddy party, weird stuff happens to you, you wake up and you really don't remember what all happens. That's the whole function of this party. I mean, why would you have a party and have so much wickedness there just for people to wake up and remember what's going on? You know what I mean? His plans wasn't for that. It wasn't for that. But the man of sin will be revealed. You can't
what you do in the dark always comes to the light. You know what I mean? So yeah, that movie was based on a Diddy party. You know what I mean? But with that, let's drop that. All right, let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 37. We're going to talk about some more separation and how we should be taking part in anything that these other nations decide to take part in. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32. I'm going to start at verse 37. I'm in Genesis a lot. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 37, and it reads, "And he shall say, where are their gods, their rock, in whom they trust?" That's what the Most High gonna say to all these Israelites who run in and join Islam, all the blacks and Hispanics and natives who go to jail and find Allah. The reason why they find Allah, do you know what the jails are made of? Like what structure is it?
It's made from Allah.
From rock, right? Yeah. So that's how they all want to run to Allah. You sitting in a damn brick for over 15 years, and you wonder why you feel a connection to Allah. You know what I mean? But the Lord is saying to them, let me start off with verse 37. And he shall say, where are their gods, their rock, in whom they trust? Where is their gods? Christians wonder why Christians don't see any works. They wonder why they believe so hard in the Lord that they serve, but he can never come through to answer their questions. Have you ever thought about that? I mean, seriously, people in the Christian church pray for money. They pray for this, pray for that, pray to be healed, and sing and cry and all that other stuff, and no, nothing happened to them. They go get baptized, alternative lifestyle, get baptized, want to change your life, and you come up, you just a wet alternative lifestyle person. You know what I mean? Like, nothing change in the Christian church. And then they justify it and say, well, God knows my heart. You know what I mean? No, man. God don't know your heart. Not the God in this Bible. He don't know your heart, and he don't hear your prayers. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue on. Verse 38. Which did eat the fat of their, which did eat the fat of their sacrifices and drink the wine of their drink offering. Let them rise up and help you and be your protection. So the Lord said, look, go to them guys that you serve, that you gave your all to, that you gave your sacrifices to, and Salah, and drink and you drank of the wine of their offerings. Go to those people. Go to those guys. Exactly. Damn right. Tazabah said, I don't want to get blocked, but yeah, exactly. He knew you had the heart of a sodomite. And you know what I mean? If you're a man, and he knew you was a harlot if you was a woman. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord knows everything, right? But let's drop that. Let's go to get some more to back that up. Let's go to 1 Maccabees chapter 1, verse 11. If you don't know, 1 Maccabees is in the Apocrypha, okay? Let me know when you get there, all right, Azrael? Okay. Now this is like this. Now this verse right here is really a shot at your Christian pastors, right? Because I'll break it down as we go. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 11. And it reads, in these days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are around about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this is a problem we always have. The Lord will pull us away from somebody or pull us away from a certain group. And then you always got that Uncle Ruckus that want to come back and pull you back to those groups. See, Christianity does that. Christianity tells you we should all be one. Dr. King is a perfect example of what a Christian person is. He wants to be with these other nations. And then he'll claim he's following the Most High. But if you read this Bible, the Most High says he don't want us to be with these other nations. The Most High called us what? Holy. Means we're separate. But all these Christian pastors want us to be one. They want us to come together with the oppressor. All right? So when the Lord separated Israel from the heathens, they were, going through a hard time. Meaning, you might separate from this world, and it's very challenging not to eat shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster. It's very challenging not to celebrate your birthday and all that other stuff. And really, it's a mental battle. But these men had them separated. They said, look, man, we separated from them, and ain't nothing been the same ever since. It ain't been the same. Let's go back so we can get this thing right. You know what I'm saying? Verse 12. So the device pleased them well. Verse 13. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen. So there's certain people went back to the king, who gave them the license to do what they wanted to do when they was with the heathen, or to teach the heathen. Salaki, I want to make sure I'm right. Yeah. All right. Verse 14. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen. So they went to Jerusalem and they built something, a place to go worship according to the heathen. Like a Christian pastor built a Christian church. And when you go in that Christian church, it looks like the other Christian church 2 houses down. You see the big windows. You got the fake picture of Christ hanging on the cross. And then you got in the back of behind the pulpit, behind you got the podium, and then behind the podium and behind the choir, it's a swimming pool. And in that swimming pool, what do? They baptize. All the churches are the same. They get licensed. So these are the Christian pastors, really talk about Christian pastors, because what? To be a Christian pastor, you got to get a what? A license. You got to get a certificate. You got to go to the seminary school, and then you got to teach what they want you to teach, learn it the way they want you to learn it, and then you have to pass the test in order to be certified to go open a church and be labeled a Christian. You know what I'm saying? You can't just call yourself Christian and then say, I'm going to open up a church and don't go through the proper channels to get that church open. You know what I mean? Where was that?
14.
Verse 14. All right, we're going to 15. And make themselves uncircumcised. What does it mean to be uncircumcised? To make themselves uncircumcised. What does that mean?
Uncircumcised.
Yeah, exactly. Unclean. Correct. So they made themselves uncircumcised, which means they made themselves unclean. How would you make yourself unclean?
And they're following the laws
and commandments, right. But also by doing, not following the laws, like you said. So they were probably eating pork. They were probably having shrimp, crab boils. You know what I mean? Like they were just doing all these things that were not, that the Lord said was unclean to do. They probably was in there, you got to keep your temple clean. the church is supposed to be clean. They probably had all type of pigs running through the altar. They probably had, you know what I mean, like disrespecting the altar. Probably had, pork juice dripping down the altar or something like that. So I have a big pig on the table with an apple in his mouth. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
If I may, we just say it's so heavy. It's just really crazy to me how the Caucasian man can sit there and take certain things and turn it into something negative. Just like that movie I was explaining it to you earlier today, that Salem movie. And they took the word Jerusalem and cut off the first 4 syllables and said, okay, Salem. So they're trying to compare Jerusalem to Salem, but trying to say like it's evil. All these horrific things are coming from this place, but in reality, it's all fictional. But most of the stuff that the oppressors come up with is fictional. To be honest with you, it's not true.
Exactly. And young man Mike said, Salakia, gymnasium in the Greek means naked, which is very, very true, young man Mike, because if you think about the Greeks and the Romans and their palaces, when they had them warriors in there fighting, them warriors was in there fighting naked. And then wasn't warriors fighting, them was Israelites. They'll go get Israelites and put them in the palace and have them running from tigers and lions and all that. They weren't putting their own people in harm's way like that. They was doing that to blacks, Hispanics, and natives. You know what I mean? They'll capture them, bring them over there, and that for their entertainment, they'll watch that. That's why football players and basketball players on the day of their on the combine day, when they come out and try out for the team and let other teams look at them, they come in basically naked, shirt off, some small shorts on, and then they're sizing them up. So I want to see how many bench press reps you can do, or how high you can jump, or how fast you can run, how many balls you can catch in a certain period of time. You know what I mean? This is what they learn. This is what the NFL and sports apply from what they learned from the Romans and the Greeks. All right, that's why if you look at the football stadium, what does it look like?
Like the old Coliseum.
Exactly, like a Coliseum. And in fact, they're actually called the Coliseums. We have Oakland Coliseum that's probably about to be towed down in a minute. You know what I mean? Like, it's nothing new under the sun. They just disguise it and make it look a little bit better. But it ain't nothing new under the sun, right? So what was that? Verse 15. So they made themselves unclean and forsook the holy covenant and joined themselves to the heathen. Ooh-wee. That's what Christianity does today to our people. It's to forsake the words that the Lord tell us to do, and they join themselves to the oppressor and be one with the oppressor and tell all our people it's okay to eat shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster, and it's okay for us to have racial marriages. It's okay for you to go marry a Caucasian woman, black man, or it's okay for you to go marry a Caucasian man if you're a black woman or Hispanic woman or a native woman. No, it's not. According to the Bible, it's not okay. All right? Let me see. Salah. And were sold to do mischief. What does the word mischief mean? I'll give brother a chance in the comments to see if y'all want to answer that real quick. All right, so for time's sake, the word mischief is evil. All right, the word mischief means evil. So I'm gonna read it again, and I'm gonna substitute mischief for evil. And were sold to do evil. So these, just like the Christian pastor, they are sold to do evil to our people. They make money for the evil that they promote. They make money for teaching the Bible completely falsely, or against the Lord, and teaching it in a way that is not meant to be taught. They get paid for that. Why do you think the churches should stay open with 5 people in it? Why do you think the churches have what the pastor ride around in a Bentley with a big house and you know what I mean? We got the church with big white walls, all the pulpits, all the seats in the church is real nice and made of really fine material. Why do you think the church is like that? Because the pastor is getting money from the government to keep his doors open. Well, here in the ISUPK, we don't take no government hand down. You have some Israelite groups who are funded by the government. We do everything ourselves here in the ISUPK, man. You know what I'm saying? But so those Christian pastors are just like those two men that was mentioned in this Bible here that went back to the king and was like, look, man, we want to work with you. That's what the Christian pastors did. They went to the oppressor like, look, man, we want to work with you, teach us. And they used to do it back in the day, in the slavery days. Master is sitting in the back of the church while he picked the one slave that he liked and tell that slave to teach the Bible this way, and he is sitting in the back of the church and watch him and make sure he's taught that. All right, to destroy his people. All right, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 3. So we're going back to the Old Testament. We're going to go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 3. When you're there, let me know how you run. So the Lord did not want us to have interracial marriages. That's against the Lord. And we're going to pull that out here. This class is all about separation. Everything I'm going over is to promote separation, and that shows you that in the Bible, that's what the Lord wants. I went over the man who, when he separated Israel, the two man wanted to go back with the king and then open the churches and be a part of it with the heathen, right? Then before that, we went over what else? Esau and Jacob. They came out. Both were in the womb together, but they were separate. They were two separate nations. Where else did we go? Salaki. I showed you that the Lord wanted us to be a holy people, separate, and that He Himself was also holy. You know what I'm saying? So now we're going to go into interracial marriage and how the Lord did not promote interracial marriage. And I just want to clear this up. If you're a black man and you have a Hispanic woman, that is not called interracial marriage. It's not. The America will call it that because they want to justify a Caucasian man getting with a sister. No, that Hispanic woman is a sister. You know what I'm saying? We have 12 tribes of Israel. If you are a brother in school and you want to get with any sister that's a part of them 12 tribes, if she don't have a man, the Lord is pleased with your decision to date one of those sisters. Now, if you are in a school and you have an idea of wanting to go sleep with Taylor Swift, brother, you got a demon on you. You know what I'm saying? She is not an Israelite. All right? So let's get it in. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 3. And if I may, just to clear something up, if you are dating a woman of a different nationality that is not a part of the 12 tribes of Israel, you cannot put that woman away because you realize you are an Israelite and you are dating a heathen. You have to stay with that woman. And she can't come to the Passover, she can't come to the school, she can't come to the class, she can't be a part of anything. But you can. And then if you want another wife, you know moving forward that you cannot date heathens and you need to find you a sister that's a part of the 12 tribes. Right? This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 3. Neither shall thou make marriages with them. Thy daughters thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughters shalt thou take unto thy son. So you shouldn't let give your daughter to a heathen. African, a Moabite, you know what I mean, which is the Chinese, like nowadays, you got a lot of sisters wanting to date these funky these stinking Ishmaelites, which is the Yemen man and the Palestinian man and all that stuff. They are not supposed to do that. You shouldn't give your daughters to them. Neither should you let your son lie with them, with those women. All right? Let's continue on. Verse 4. For thy will turn away thy son from following me. And that happens. You see a brother you see a sister go deal with a man in a smoke shop. Next thing you know, she got her head covered up and she praying 5 times a day, saying she's Islam. You know, that happens. Let's continue on. That they may serve other gods. So with the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. So the Lord will be mad with you if you allow it to happen, and he will destroy you suddenly. This is why it's important to raise your kids up in the way they should go. If you raise your kids up from the day one and let them know, hey, Salaki, we are Israelites, we only deal with our own people. When they grow up, they will follow them rules. Go ahead.
If I may, going back to the first and second verse, it nails exactly what you're talking about. It goes in more detail.
You mean from the beginning of verse 7?
Uh-huh.
All right, I'll go through verse 7 and go start at verse 7. Verse 7, number 1 of chapter 1. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to pursue it, and have cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites and the Gershonites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hevitites, all these other knights. 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. Verse 2. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver thee before thee, before I go on to verse 2, when it says several nations greater and mightier than thou, those are all nations that are in the Middle East right now, right? And all those nations are bigger than the nation of Israel, meaning even blacks, the Yemenites. So do you know how many people are in Yemen? It's millions. The Palestinians, it's millions of those. You know what I mean? The Iranians, even the African nations. It's a lot more than it is us. So they're stronger and mightier, meaning they have more numbers, right? And in verse 2, and when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee. So even though they have more people, they can't fade us, man. When the Lord is with us, we can take down any amount of people we want to. But we have to live right, or else we won't win that battle. All right, so let's continue on. Thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them. What does that mean? You should, when it says smite them and utterly destroy them, the Lord wants us to take them out, to make them no more, and not build a covenant with them. What does that mean? A covenant is an agreement. You know what I mean? He didn't want us to do that. Whereas we're here in America, we make an agreement with the oppressor quick, fast. You know what I mean? We walk in a smoke shop, we, hey, what's up, cousin? You know what I mean? We make agreements with them fast. We're not supposed to do that. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them, nor show mercy unto them neither. You know what I mean? Don't say, oh, well, you know what? Christianity, I keep going back to Christianity because Christianity shows mercy to these other nations. If Ethiopian come over here, they claim they're Christian, you can come in a Christian church. You know what I mean? That's showing mercy to them. You worshiping in the place with them, eating with them, fellowship with them. You showing mercy to them. Right? You know what I'm saying? The Lord said we should not show mercy to them. So you correct. And then it also goes into not marrying them, which we just read. And if you choose to, the response from the Lord will anger him. The fire of the Lord will be kindled. Just to go back to doing verse 3, neither shalt thou make marriages with them, Thy daughters thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughters shalt thou give unto thy son. Verse 4, for they will turn away the son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. All right. So the Lord wants separation. It never was meant for us to be one people. It never was meant for all of us to come together and hold hands and sing Kumbaya. It never was meant for us to do what Dr. King did. That's why that didn't help us. Everybody was behind Dr. King saying what he's doing is right, and it's going to change the life of Black people. And it didn't. It actually made put Black people in a worse situation. Right? They did all that boycotting and join and go eat at these places. And what happened? There was a bus line only for Black people that was ran by Black people. What happened to that? That disappeared. It was hotels and motels that was ran by only Black people. What happened to those? They got shut down. Grocery stores, only for Black people. What happened to those? Gone. Hospitals, ran only by Black people. What happened to those? Gone. Schools, only for Black people. Ran by Black people, taught by Black people. And what happened to those schools? Gone. And what happened to the condition of the Black man? It worsened. What happened to the condition of the Black woman? It worsened. What happened to the condition and the educational level of the Black child? It worsens. You have slaves that were smarter than some of these kids today. You know what I mean? Just by the way they were taught. You had back in those days in the 50s and the 40s, 50s, and 60s, those kids were smarter than the kids today, and we have schools segregated. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. But yeah, that just shows you that we were never meant to be together. Let's go to the book of Nehemiah, chapter 13, verse 25. Go to the book of Nehemiah, chapter 13, verse 25. If you got something you want to bring out, now's the time. Look at Nehemiah chapter 13, verse 25. Got this story with the Apocrypha in it, and it kind of threw me off to where things are. But I know I was supposed to, just for time's sake, try to find it. So we're going to go to the book of Nehemiah, chapter 13, verse 25.
You like this in 25 or 5?
25. 13 and 25. This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 13, verse 25, and it reads, "And I contended with them, and cursed them, and smote certain of them, and plucked off their hair, and made them swear by God, saying, Ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons, nor take their daughters unto your sons, or for yourself." That sounds crazy. The Lord, this basically said here, when the Lord said I would smote certain of them, man, it said, I'm sorry. When it said I would smote certain of them, that's putting their hands on them. I'm gonna beat them down. That's put your paws up. You know what I'm saying? You sin against this Bible. So I'm gonna start at verse 24. And their children spake half in their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod, and could not speak in the Jews' language, but according to the language of each people. So they couldn't speak the language they were supposed to speak. They were speaking the language of the other people, Go ahead.
If I made the 23 the one right above it, I'm confused.
Let's go to 23, 13 to 23. In those days also saw I Jews that had married wives of Ashad, of Ammon, and of Moab. So what do you mean? Are you confused at?
Oh, okay. I see where it's connected now. I was just a little confused because I had read that before you went to 23.
Okay, no, sir. So 23 is basically saying the Israelites began to marry all these heathen women. They wanted to marry the Moabites and the Ammon and the Ashdods and all of them, right? Verse 24, and their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod and could not speak in the Jews. So when a man have a child by a heathen, that child is Israelite still. You are the seed of your father. Well, when they begin to have these children begin to speak the language of the other nation instead of speaking the language of their father. You know what I'm saying? That's a problem with the Lord. Not only is the problem that you go out and have a baby by these other nations, but then your child can't even speak your language, your original tongue, which is the Hebrew. Your child is speaking Chinese, or your child is speaking Nigerian. You know what I mean? You ain't speaking the language that the Lord gave you. All right, so let's continue on. Then that goes into 25. And I contended with them and cursed them. So when he said, and I cursed them, that don't mean like cussing them out. Curse them means he put a curse on them. All right? And smote certain of them, and he dealt with certain of them. You know what I mean? And plucked off their hair. And you know, the hair in our religion, the hair is very important. You know what I mean? Black women love their hair. Black men, we're supposed to grow our hair out. You know what I mean? We're not supposed to cut our hair. Our religion never promoted us to cut our hair. That's cutting your hair is the religion of the Caucasian man, because he's so hairy, he gotta cut his shit. So like, he'll look like the commercial of the caveman if you don't, right? So hair was very important to us. When the Lord said here, he plucked off their hair and made them, he plucked off their hair and made them swear by God, saying, ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons, nor take their daughters unto your sons, or for yourself. And then he made them swear to the Most High. Like, I won't never do this again. You know what I mean? Like, it's not cool. All right. We're going to verse 26. Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things? What does that mean? That means Solomon, if you don't know the story of Solomon, Solomon went out and he had got many wives. You heard that story? Right? But he began to marry women outside of the nation of Israel. And in return, those women began to convince Solomon to not serve his God. You understand? So they start putting in his head, oh no, it's okay, Solomon, to worship Buddha. Oh, it's okay, Solomon, to pray to Mecca. You know, I'm just giving a paraphrase. I don't think Mecca was around with it then. But them other women will convince Solomon to turn away from his way and partake in their ways. And that began to make Solomon weak. And that's really why Solomon fell out of favor with the Lord and lost everything that he had. All right. Yet among many nations was there no king like him. But even though all that Solomon went through all that, there still was never a king like Solomon. All right. Who was beloved of his God. And God made him king over all Israel. Nevertheless, even him did outlandish women cause to sin. So it says, so you got to be careful with women you're dealing with. And because you could be the strongest man in the world. If you don't follow what the Lord is saying, you decide to make your own choice and go deal with these women, them women can cause you to sin. That's why it's important to have a righteous woman, a virtuous woman. You know what I mean? Because if you don't, you be a man and you be like, man, look at this girl, man. She a stripper. She's smoking crack every day. You know, I'm paraphrasing. And then You see her smoking crack every day, and she come in there, hey, baby, baby. She will convince you to smoke that crack. So I go ahead.
Yes, it just kind of reminds me of the Kardashians.
Exactly.
All they deal with is black men, and well, except for that gender dude, the dad.
And he turned into
but everyone turns alternative and weird after they deal with it.
They do because you was never meant for them to deal with a Kardashian. You know what I mean? And guess what? They don't just go get any man, any black man. They go get the wealthiest black man. They want a man with money, Tiger, and what's the basketball player name, and Kanye. They want all those, you know what I mean? And then the crazy thing is those are men with what we would consider today having stature, men of stature, and they tear them down. Lamar Odom. And there was another basketball player who used to date one of them. He played for the Cavaliers.
Oh, yeah.
They've been a rival. They more dirtier than a doorknob. You know what I mean? Salaki. Verse 27. Shall we then hearken unto you to do all this great evil, to transgress against our God and marry strange wives? You know what I mean? Said, should we transgress against our Lord and marry all these strange wives? Man, that's sick. God forbid. You know what I mean? God forbid that. Let's go to Ezra, First Ezra, chapter 8, verse 82. The first Ezra is in the Apocrypha. Go to First Ezra, chapter 8, verse 82. The Lord does not want us to be with all these other nations. This is the book of First Ezra, chapter 8, verse 82. And it reads, and now, O Lord, what shall we say, having these things? For we have transgressed thy commandments, which thou gavest by the hand of thy servant the prophet, saying, verse 83, that the land which ye enter into possess as an inheritance, it is a land polluted with the pollutions of the strangers of the land, and they have filled it with their uncleanness. See, the Lord has never been with these people. They always been a nasty, disgusting, vile people. Just like you see them commercials of Africans, and they be having little like flies all on them and stuff, and they don't even budge. Or you will see them eat some type of unlawful. You can't even make out what it is, but you just know by the way they're eating it that it's unlawful. You know what I mean? Or in certain places like in India, they believe bathing in like what is it like a rhino, not a rhino, but no, they bathe in this animal that they bathe in. They when they use the bathroom, they get in it and they lock themselves with it. Yeah, I can't think of it. Yeah, that's what I did. But this thing is happening, right? All right, so but they've been found unclean. Let's continue on. Verse 84, therefore now shall ye not join your daughters unto their sons, neither shall ye take their daughters unto your sons. Verse 85, moreover, ye shall never seek to have peace with them, that ye may be strong and eat the good things of the land, and that ye may leave the inheritance of the land unto the children forevermore. So the Lord said, ye shall not seek to have peace with them. Meaning you should not even want to deal with them. Again, the Lord promotes us being separate from these other nations, not to be become one. That's not what we were supposed to do. That's why the America's downfall is going to be so glorious, because it's going to back up what we're breaking down today in this class. The Lord said to be separate, and that's what we should do, is be separate. Now, we can be here in one land and not be with each other. It's all throughout the Bible. But of course, you always have some people who think they can do what they want to do, and then they end up having to pay Let's go to Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17. The book of Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17. I'll just use this pocket for a minute. The book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 17. You there? Okay. So this is the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, our eye as yet feel for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that cannot save us. Our eye has filled. So like it. As for us, our eyes as yet feel for our vain help. Vain help, man. Every like failed for our vain help. So like it. Why has our eye failed? So like it. Why has our eyes failed as yet? So like it. As for us, our eyes as yet fail for our vain help. Why is that? Every year, every 4 years, we vote for a new president. In a couple of days, y'all finna run and go vote for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, thinking that something's going to change. And guess what, black man, black woman, black child, the Hispanic man, Hispanic woman, Hispanic child, nothing's going to change for you. You're still going to be in the same situation you're in. You're still going to have higher gas prices, high food prices. Rent is still going to be extremely high. It's nothing going to be different. The only thing different is you're going to have a new oppressor controlling you. You take part in these holidays, nothing's going to change. All these things stays the same. You follow their rules, nothing's going to change. All right, let's see how we can fix this evilness. All right, let's just see what we can do. Let's go to Ezra chapter 4, verse 2. Let's see how if it's a way we can fix this wickedness as children of Israel. Let's see, Ezra chapter 4, verse 2. All right. This is the book of Ezra, chapter 4. Ezra, chapter 4, verse 2. Then they came to Zerubbabel, and to the chief of the fathers, and said unto them, let us build with you, for we seek your God as ye do, and we do sacrifice unto him since the day of Esarhaddon, king of Esar, I can't pronounce it, which brought us up hither. Verse 3. But Zerubbabel and I can't pronounce that, and the rest of the chiefs of the father of Israel said unto them, ye have nothing to do with us, to build a house unto our God. But we ourselves together will build unto the Lord God of Israel, as King Cyrus and King of Persia have commanded us. Persia has commanded us. Y'all for the pronunciation. This right here is showing you that the Lord, that we shouldn't be together with the other nation. They said, look, these people said, look, we want to come with you and we want to serve with you. We want to build. We know y'all got the real God. Y'all serving the real God. We want to be a part of that. And the chiefs of Israel said, no. You know what I'm saying? We do what the man in the Bible did 1,000 years ago, we do to this day in the UPK. Other people be like, yeah, we see all Passover, man. We want to come be a part of that. If you're not Black, Hispanic, and Native, you cannot come. You know what I mean? We do what the Lord said do. We don't join with these people, man. So we can separate ourselves. That's how we fix these problems. This is how you know Christianity is not of God, because Christianity promotes acceptance from all of the, you know what I mean? But the God of the Bible don't. All right? Let's go to chapter 6, verse 21 real quick. This is the book of Ezra, chapter 6, verse 21. And the children of Israel, which were come again out of captivity. And look, that's one thing. We constantly kept going in and out of captivity because we wanted to join hands with these other nations. Going against the Lord. He's like, oh, y'all want to listen? Boom, throw you right back in captivity. We get out of captivity. We build this nation up. We separate. We do what we need to do. And somebody else down the line is going to be hard-headed. You know what I'm saying? So like it. So we're come again out of captivity, and all such as had separated themselves unto them from the filthiness of the heathen of the land, to seek the Lord God of Israel did eat. So look, we separate ourselves from these heathens, get clean, and go back to being unclean. Crazy. You know what I mean? All because you like white women. All because you want to feel a part of something. Man, we gotta learn how to separate from these nations, man. All right. So, let's go for one more script real quick. We're gonna go to Revelations chapter 18, verse 4. And I think this would be a good one to end it off on. The book of Revelations, chapter 18, verse 4. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sin, and that ye receive not of her plagues. The Lord said, come out of her. We have to come out of America. We have to separate from America so we won't get caught in America's sins. And we won't take part and get caught up in the plagues that's going to fall on America. There is a way that America can be stricken, and the children of Israel will not be affected by what happens to America. But as long as we continue to be a part of America and take part in America, we're going to feel that same strike when the Most High hit America, man. All right? If you want to be a part, if you want to separate yourself from America ways, and you want to be a part of the true way of life that the Lord has given you, if you Black and Hispanic and Native, come into the ISUPK, man. Under Commander General Yohana, learn the truth. Don't go to these fake Israelite groups. I'm telling you, they got Africans in their groups. You know what I mean? They go to Nigeria and recruit Black Africans from Nigeria and tell them that they're Israelites. You don't want to be in those groups. Because if you're a sister, you'll end up like the sister Joey Morgan, who joined the Israelite group and gave her all and committed everything to it and followed the laws, and then a Hamite unalived her. An African unalived her because he was in the Israelite group. He was accepted in that group. You know what I mean? You don't want that to happen. You don't want to be like that. So you want to be, if you're a sister who you really want to follow the laws and the statutes of the Bible, and you really want to be in a home, in a place that's true, that's the home of the truth. When you became the home of the truth, come to the ISUPK, man. Reach out to the nearest camp in your area. All right. With that, I'd like to salute the brothers. Yahweh Shemiah Shabbat Rakatham, and Yahweh Shemar Alatham by Shemiah Shabbat all the sisters. Shalom.